Hello everyone, this is the LEGO Architecture Great Wall of China set. I've been looking forward to this since the first pictures were released, and I'm very happy that after all of this wait, having built it, it is a good finished product. It feels good to own this, it felt good to put it together. It didn't actually use much in the way of tricky building techniques. Most of this is fairly straightforward, bricks on top of bricks, plates on top of bricks, tiles on top of plates, but the end result is definitely worth it. There's a lot of mass here, and it looks very good on display. From a distance, it stands out relative to other architecture sets that are on a similar sized base. It just is immediately recognizable when you walk into a room, and most interestingly and unexpectedly, they did design it to be put together with multiples. So if you buy multiple of this same set, you can put them end to end to end to end, which actually won't look too bad. They did a very clever thing with the base plates here, with the ends being able to be pulled off after the model is complete. You can take that off, do the same thing from down at this end. It just removes the end, so that gives you a flush end right here, and then you can use any sort of piece underneath here just to connect between two separate models. It's so simple, and it works really well. The build of this overall, like I said, is fairly straightforward, but it's heavy. It's very heavy compared to most of the architecture real nano scale builds like this, because it is very solid with regular bricks, both just the regular rectangular ones and also a lot of slopes. The actual wall sections themselves are added in towards the end. You know, you build the terrain and then add those parts in, seal it off with the caps of these towers or turrets, and it's pretty much done before you know it. But like I said, it's worth it in the end. They use just some hinge pieces in some places. The only thing that's particularly interesting in terms of the build was how this section right here was connected. It's actually connected with a ball joint down beneath that is facing up, one of those Mixels style ball joints, just to allow it to fit at an angle, but everything is very snug. There are some small gaps in there in the wall, but hey, in real life there are much larger gaps in the wall. I mean, this is here depicting a particularly picturesque, well-restored segment of the wall as stands today. It's very stylized with the colors. You know, everything is looking much more rich than it does in real life, and I think that's great. I think it just fits right along with the normal architecture, LEGO architecture style, that is. And I'm glad that they did include two nameplates for this. That was very respectful of them to do. And in all, I feel like I got probably a better value out of this set than I have out of most of the architecture sets to date, especially in this size range. The architecture line is very expensive by design because it can be. The price to part ratios are usually very sensible, but because these sets usually have a lot of very small pieces, the volume of stuff that you get is usually rather low. And they're able to do that because they're selling to mostly adults. They're selling to mostly people who have more disposable income than your average LEGO consumer. But here I just feel like I get, like I said, a good mass of stuff. When you feel this, it's something that cannot be conveyed over the camera, but when you actually have this in your hands, when you actually grab it, you pick it up, you move it around, you feel like you've got something there. It's a little bit hollow inside of the taller hill there, but not very much. And like I said, it just has a real good presence on display. This was well worth the wait for me, and for some folks this will definitely be worth buying in multiples. Hope you enjoyed this look at this set. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.